Here in Game 2, and Kyrie Irving has been sensational. 18 points, 8 out of 13 from the floor. And the Celtics trying to take a 2-zip lead. Lead it by a deuce. American Express halftime report, Ernie Johnson. Shaq making notes.
Is it Bojan?
Kenny looking suave.
Bogan. Bojan or Bogan?
Bojan.
Bojan, got it. Boy dash Jan. Y-A-W-A. Got it.
This is going to be a good show.
I got it ready ebonically.
Do it like this, Shaq.
Again,
Shaq.
just-
Boy, young.
Got it, Bojan. That's good. Thank you.
Thank
Chuck.
you. That's how
I
you do
appreciate
it.
It's actually phonetically, not ebonically, but either way, both should be talking about it.
Bog, Don, D-O-N, Vitch.
This is supposed to be
I'm just writing my
I
notes
thought you were
down.
supposed to do this before you got out
I
here.
did, but I knew his name was.
Boyan.
No, I knew it was Bojan, but this says Bojan. I don't care what nobody says.
Come on, man.
B-O.
Come on, man.
How you
Ernie,
spell-
man, please stop the
How
bleeding.
you spell Trojan? T-R-O-J-A-N.
Oh, my God.
So this is Bojan. B-O-J-A-N.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just
Guys,
saying.
it's not like the guy's never been in the league, man. Come on.
Wait, how do you spell what?
Come on, man.
Trojan is T-R-O-J-A-n and B-O-J. That's how you spell his name. So I'm like, Bojan.
That's
Bojan.
okay. So when you play for the Lakers,
Are we going to get to any good
Shaq,
analysis here?
when you play for the Lakers, you go to Rodeo Drive.
Hey, no, wait. There is a rodeo and there is a rodeo. There is. You go south of La Brea, you on rodeo. You know, I'm out in L.A. You go south, you definitely in rodeo.
Kyrie has 18 in the first half, but are we going to do his? Let's go ahead and get his pictures of Bojan Bogdanovic done so we can move on.
So I asked the panel, is there anybody that can have a big score tonight? You guys said no. I think.
No, we said Bogdanovic has had 3 30-point games this year.
Well, that's not a lot, Ernie. 3 30-point games.
I know,
in
but
any game, that's not a lot. I know. That's okay.
Is there anybody who can?
Hey,
And
great
I said,
point,
he
Shaq.
You're right.
You're right. Ernie's wrong, Shaq.
And you're right, Ernie. I'm with him. So he's had 12 points in the game last time. He had 12 points and a half. He's the guy. Bogdanovic. He's a Vitch, so we know he can shoot, but right now he's getting easy bucks. He has 12 points. I think he's going to still need about 18
But
points.
Well,
24
18
points ain't going to do it. He needs to be in the 30. You know,
His
he
name
needs
is
to make it his
Bojan.
fourth time.
Because it's
Hey, that's what Bojan Bogdanovic.
it's spelled like Trojan, so
It is.
it's not Bojan.
But he's the guy, but 24 points ain't going to do it. He's
Oh,
still
whatever.
30.
Let's move on to you, Kenny. Tell me about the.
I got
I'm going
Pacers
straight to
are
the
doing
board. I ain't going to waste too
offensively.
much time. I'm going straight to the board. So you talk about if you're Indiana, you have to play small so you can get Bojan or Bojan. You can get them baskets or you can get anyone baskets. So they're going to open the floor up. And this is the new NBA. Let's go small. We got Matthews, you got Joseph, and you got Collison out here. Freeze it here. There's no one, absolutely no one is going to be allowed in this green area, in the painted area, which is Shaq or Charles would hate this kind of offense. So again, you go, everyone's on the outside. Miles Turner's up there. No one. So now, we might not make the shot, but we're going to get the shot that we want, which is the 3. Again, now, also the new NBA. So if you're not in the paint, we're the closest you can be. Freeze it here. This is the new line. You see this hash mark here? This is the only way this is the dive area. You're going to stay in the dive area. You're not allowed to get into the paint. If you're Miles Turner, you cannot be there. You have to just be in the dive area. You can't come and post up because you were wide open against Al Horford. We're going to stay open because we might not get the shot. We not make the shot, but we'll get the shot we want, and sometime they'll go in when you play small. Nobody's in the paint.
20 minutes to Wapner.
It was another example
got?
that Indiana's playing as hard as they can. They're giving great energy, great effort. The Celtics are just kind of looking at this as a scrimmage. Like, this team can't beat us. I mean, Indiana should be up at the half because they outworked this team. They're just not good enough without Victor Oladipo. But I expect the Celtics to make their run like they always do. But man, this ain't gonna work out good for them in the next round, trying to turn it on and off. You can't do that against the elite teams.
Remember in Game 1, third quarter went
tough
26-8 Boston's way over Indiana. See what the third quarter has in store for us here in a 2-point game, 52-50, with Kyrie scoring 18. Do you remember how to say this?
Oh, yeah.
Mazij Lampi.
Oh, Macy J. Lampy.
Mazij Lampi.
Yeah.
Macy J.
Kind of remember that.
Macy J. Did you say Macy J?
M-A-C-I-E is Macy. I don't care what nothing about Macy Gray, the singer.
Bojan Bogdanovic and the Pacers in search of offense. They scored just 74 points in a Game 1 loss in Boston. Kyrie and the Celtics turned it on in the second half of that opener. They take aim at a 2-zip lead. It's another doubleheader in the playoffs on TNT. We get you started with the Pacers and the Celtics, and take you to Houston for the Rockets and the Jazz.
Good game there.
Yeah, we welcome you back to the playoffs. It's TNT NBA Tip-Off presented by Auto Trader. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Charles, and the Rain Man.
I know things that you don't know, Ernie.
Just remind me of that. You just
The Rain Man suit. Yeah.
the Rain Man suit. There it is.
That's not the suit.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
That's
right.
on my head.
That is right.
Yes, it is.
I tell you. Let's go to Vegas, guys. Let's go to Vegas.
Let's go.
Let's go. He's like,
Never. You can never turn down Vegas, brother.
No question.
Gotta- Vegas, Shaq.
Except when you're gambling.
You don't have a 50-50 chance.
That's very, very close.
That's the same suit, Kenneth.
They just told it. Actually, Shaq, it's really the Pistons on NBA TV.
You're right.
Pistons and Bucks.
What's wrong with NBA TV?
That's an hour.
That's when we
Nothing.
put the games we don't care
It's
about.
That's really, I
That's
didn't
an
know
hour
that.
from now.
That's part of the memo.
Hey, name me how many times LeBron's played on NBA TV.
Oh, he played on a lot.
He's never been on NBA TV.
Players only.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Not during the playoffs.
That's not the same.
Yeah, not during the
LeBron's
playoffs.
not playing on NBA TV right now either.
Hey, the Celtics.
I tell you what.
That's what we should put him on NBA TV if he comes. And LeBron, the word is if you come,
You
Charles
come,
is trying
LeBron.
to put you
I
on
need
NBA
I need a
TV.
favor, LeBron. Yeah. I want to interview you on TNT and NBA TV. How about that?
You're gonna be doing game time tonight and waiting for the last guy to come out of the shower for that post-game interview. You know how they.
He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't
He
even
don't know
know
nothing
Okay,
about that.
well, it'll be you and Freddie waiting on that guy to come do that last interview. Remember Freddie?
Hey,
Remember Freddie from
Inside
DC?
joke, America.
You remember Freddie from DC?
I remember Freddie from DC.
Can you show that graphic again real quick?
He related to Anthony.
Can you show that graphic again?
this is
Because
going
we do
back,
want to point out the fact that the Celtics made history the other day.
How they make
How to make history?
They are the first team to win a playoff game when scoring 84 points or less, shooting 37% or less, and turning the ball over 20
The
times.
game wasn't in doubt.
They did all those things
Yes.
and still won the game.
I think they're trying to give the Pacers a chance.
Pacers actually played a good first half of that.
Yeah, but
game.
you know they have a second half.
I know, and then
Something
they scored.
just added
They
with the
scored
new-
8 points in the third quarter of that
Come
game.
on, Ernie, let's
They
quit
need-
joking around. Let's get to that second game, that Rockets.
You don't want to talk at all about this Boston-Indiana game. Shaq,
Ernie-
you want to
Yeah, I
weigh
do.
in on Boston-Indiana, please?
Twice this week, you've seen teams that have been down, and one guy has stepped up. Lou Williams for the Clippers stepped up, the one big guy, and last night, Jamal Murray. Do the Pacers, question to the panel, do they have one guy that can go off, get
No,
30,
he's hurt.
get 35?
He's hurt.
I know it's Victor, but do they have one other guy? That can
Not really. I mean, Bogdanovic is
35?
their leading scorer, but he's not a guy who's going to go out and.
Listen.
If they don't have that one guy, then they don't have a
The
chance.
Pacers had a chance last game, blowing that 15, 17-point lead, whatever they had. The Celtics are awakened now. They just beat them down in the second half, and I think they're going to come out tonight and send this team a message.
I was thinking about that today. Like, if
No, they
Lou
don't have
Williams
a
don't
plan.
go off, if Lou
They don't
Williams
have a
don't
plan.
go off.
But Lou Williams can go on.
Bogdanovich
that's
had,
what I'm saying.
3 30-point games. His high this season was 37 against Minnesota.
I'll
They don't have anybody that can do it.
No, the Pacers are going to get beat down tonight. I hate to say it, but Reggie Miller's not walking through that door. They're going to get beat down tonight.
If Reggie Miller in 2019 come walk through that door, they're gonna get beat down.
That's a good point, Kenny.
That's the ride and bike Reggie Miller.
You know what I am looking forward to?
rider.
Again, when you look at the Utah-Houston game, is to see what Quinn Snyder does defensively tonight, because you guys talked it out the other
If he
night
does
about
that, there's no way. There's a difference we said about shading and giving.
Shading.
Giving someone the whole left side of the whole side of the floor, right side of the floor, and he's the MVP, and he understands how to play the game, and he's the most lethal scorer possibly in the NBA. You cannot do that. You have to play him straight up, or you're going to have to double. If you say, I would say straight up, lock down the corner threes, lock down the wing threes, and let's play basketball and see.
That's exactly what you asked me the other night. That's how I would play James Harden. Mano a mano. I put 3 or 4 guys on him. I make him make those step-back threes because I think they get stagnant. This thing right here, I don't know what the hell that is.
I know that it's called a gimmick defense.
This is like, I mean, you ain't taking,
don't work,
Ernie,
Ernie.
You might as well play a boxing one.
well, you might as well start doing 1, 2, 3 Cancun. I mean, this don't, I'm not even sure what the strategy was. Are you
saying let a guy go in a half court and let him play
full speed? That's your
full
big
speed
guy.
go full
and he
speed.
got, and the big guy's scared because every time he comes up, Capella gets a dunk.
If we got a split, you guys are actually wrong. Reggie Miller is walking through that door because he's calling this game with Kevin Harlan. And the hanky is a nice touch. Is that houndstooth?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That hanky, I'm not feeling that.
That
little-
stitch out the
I'm
way.
not feeling that.
Saw that earlier.
It is Game 2, Celtics and Pacers, and while he will be on the floor, he won't be suiting up for the Pacers. They could have used him in the third quarter, Reg, where they shot 2 of 19 in Game 1. Our own Reggie Miller will be on the call for TNT. Let me start with that. No Victor Oladipo, Reg. We know how big of a piece he was for this team. They've got such good a cast of role players, but how do they get out of that group what they need offensively?
Timely scoring, and it's got to be by committee, but personally, to me, it starts with Bojan Bogdanović. He's got to be more aggressive. Only 12 points in Game 1. Give the Celtics and really Jaylen Brown all the credit. I think Brad Stevens told us going in that normally that defensive assignment would have been drawn by Marcus Smart. He's out, obviously, because of the injury. Brown gets the start. He's much taller, longer than Smart. And he's got a lot of the tricks that Marcus Smart has. So he's getting underneath Bojan, and they're not top locking him. They're forcing him to the middle, and he's doing a good job of staying connected. So Bojan has to be more aggressive offensively. You take away that third quarter for the Pacers where they shot 2 of 19 and only 8 points. They played an excellent game plan. I mean, they only held the Celtics to 84 points on 36% shooting. So the defense was there. They just didn't have any offense. Only 2 Pacers in double figures, and one was Corey Joseph, and he hadn't led the Pacers in scoring in 2 seasons. So that tells you right there that's a problem.
Reg, during the course of the year, the 2 seasons, the Celtics and consistency have not gotten together much. Brad Stevens knows that. How important is it for this team, not just to win the series, but to come out each game after a win, for example, in Game 1 tonight, and to show that they have taken things to a more consistent level of play here in the playoffs?
You saw a little bit of that inconsistency in the first 2 quarters to start this ball game. I thought the Pacers did a great job of kind of going at the Celtics, and it looked like the Celtics were kind of going through the motions a little bit. That physicality showed up in the second half, in particular in that third quarter, and that's the way the Celtics have to play. There was a much more ball movement. They got stops. They got out and ran. They only had 2 fast break points in the first half, 22 in the second half. So their defense fueled their offense. And even though Kyrie didn't have a great shooting night, 6 of 17, only 20 points, to me his overall game was pretty effective. I see the Celtics, if they can continue that ball movement, and Jason Tatum, he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. I think they're starting to find that group. And to me, Marcus Morris, 20 points off the bench. He was the X factor in Game 1.
Reg, in your opinion, do you think the Pacers need Sabonis and Tariq Evans to have big nights for them to have a chance to win tonight?
Well, obviously, Sabonis is in the running for the sixth man of the year. He won't win it. That'll go to Lou Williams. But his presence, as soon as he comes on, because of his physicality, I thought Brad Stevens and the Celtics did a great job of keeping Aaron Baines, a more physical player, as both of you guys know, keeping Baines on Sabonis and taking that physicality out. They didn't switch a lot, that's where Sabonis, when he gets the switch of those small forwards and power forwards and he can kind of punish them in the post, they took that away and they kept Baines on him. So they're going to need Sabonis' offense, and you're right. Evans he was only 3 of 11. He's got to be more aggressive. But how about Miles Turner and how about Thaddeus Young? Those two guys offensively, we talked about the Pacers. They are the sum of all their parts. With the Oladipo injury, where he was the go-to guy, he set the table offensively for this Pacers team. It's got to be by committee. So all those guys we mentioned, you just can't have 2 guys score in double figures and only score 74 points. You got to have 5 or 6 guys in double figures where you don't know where the offense is coming from. That's what made this Pacers team so dangerous all season long after the Oladipo injury.
Well, Reg, this Celtics team, they have bigger dreams of becoming the Eastern Conference champions. A big problem was camaraderie throughout the season and issues with them in terms in the locker room. They only had 18 assists, but you talk about their ball movement. Can you tell that there's more of a connected spirit with this Celtics team where they are now?
Brevin, you're absolutely right. And as both of you know, everyone starts 0-0 come playoff time. So whatever happened during the regular season, whatever infighting was going on in the locker room, you put that aside because now it's a quest for 16, to win 16 games and to win a championship. And again, they came out a little bit in a daze, in a fog in that first half, but I really thought defensively they stepped it up in that second half, and it was much better ball movement. And I think that camaraderie will grow. Obviously, the more wins you have, this is a perfect first-round matchup because these two teams have been battling one another for the last 3 weeks. They knew they were going to be facing one another. The question was who was going to have home court advantage. It ended up being Boston. So I think that camaraderie is coming for the Celtics. But you're right, better ball movement and better communication. I think they are much better when they are communicating on defense and creating offense from that defense.
Reggie, appreciate the time. Looking forward to the broadcast. Should be a great atmosphere in Boston. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And don't try to sign me up, all right? I'm not trying to play. Don't try to sign me up.
They need you.
Man, you can still hit a few.
They need
They need Vince. Vince is the 45-year-old that's out here playing, okay?
There he is, Reggie Miller joining us as we look ahead to game number 2. Al Horford. There was a question whether or not he would play with the illness, getting his sweat on, upgraded to probable. Looks like he will be able to go for game 2. Can Indiana get home with a split?